Yo, man is back in the building after a long hiatus. You don't know this is my partner in crime, man like Walkz, you know what I'm saying?
Tally.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? AKA the Twitch streamer, AKA I guess what we gonna call you?
AKA Wiley to the VI. That's what we're gonna say, man.
For the Y dot lead to the VI. Listen. Anyway, this brother who's got a brain that I respect when it comes to music. So I thought, you know what? With a lot of stuff happening on the music scene, and while we aren't doing a podcast currently, we might as well talk on a few topics. You know what I'm saying? And today's topic is this situation that's happening between Stormzy and Chip. And as we sort of like have been watching, just basically thoughts on what's been happening and see where we go, man. Yeah, you yourself, like, how did you come across this situation, my bro?
I think maybe I don't know. It was when I first realized something was going on. I'd heard ways.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite know he was going at him. I'd heard I don't know. I still didn't know he was going at him, but then you started to see the commentary online and stuff.
Yeah.
Because when he's what did he sell first week? I don't know. And I'm like, who's he talking about? Like,
Yeah.
but I got no clue.
Yeah.
I never like ways. I never thought I wasn't paying attention like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of when I first discovered something was going on still.
Yeah, for me, I caught it pretty early. I'm gonna say, I know they said Waze was aimed at. I do believe they were saying Mez. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I heard later on. So I don't know where the Stormzy thing come from. Like,
but bro, I have a counterpoint to that, right? Because I don't think people are being directly honest. I may be completely wrong, yeah. But I have to say that understanding the penmanship and how smart and intelligent Chip has showed us that he is, even regarding to rebuttals. He couldn't talk about the king of grime after somebody who is a prominent artist being in a clash had said the king of grime and not know how that would be perceived. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we know Chip knows how to break down a bar, how to reply to somebody, how to you understand what I'm saying? How to get a message out there that he's aware. You get what I'm saying? So there's no way that he put that bar in and didn't think it could not apply to Stormzy, who had just in however many months had some sort of a clash with Wiley. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe there's no way he put that bar in there and didn't know.
Possibly, but I don't. Only them two would know, innit? Only them two would know, bro. Like, maybe, but we have to take into consideration that shit has happened that behind the scenes that we obviously don't know about. We know about what they've decided to show us. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't know what led to him potentially taking a shot on Waze, or what happened in between the whole Waze thing for him to reply and I don't know.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I speak more from a fan perspective, just watching where first note it was like Waze, oh shit, because naturally, like somebody who I react to Stormzy a lot, regardless whether it's drill, regardless whether it's whatever on my channel. You know what I'm saying? And so that whole Wiley and Stormzy thing, it was quite a moment in it. Do you know what I mean? And it was entertainment. It wasn't nothing, let's say, serious or that got into
what the Wiley and Stormzy one.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Hey, man told you his mom's hiding in Napa and that, in Greece and that, fam. Brother, he was disrespectful, fam.
But it's a clash, bro. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Nah, man. You know, in grime, the suck your mom is the unwritten rule, fam.
Listen.
The dissing moms is unwritten rule in grime, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something, yeah? When I say it's one thing to say like your mom's in Greece, it's another thing to come to my house, bro. You feel me? It's
no, but he didn't all just say your mom's in Greece. He also said I punched up your brother in front of your dad and none of you did nothing.
Very disrespectful.
Very. You can't say that was just war, fam. You can't say that was just war.
I can't lie, that was amazing, But you know what? Like, for me, it's a thing where you can't, like, the difference of the beef, it got really personal. And I think for Stormzy, like, I think he'd taken all that energy on from Wiley because he had to, let's say, listen to Wiley talk about him, his girl, you know, girl situations, all sorts of violations he's been holding. And you wouldn't you think, like, why don't man just leave me the fuck alone? You know, like that.
This is what I said in my Clash question mark reaction. Like, just leave Chip, leave him. If you're gonna do what we're gonna talk about later with the CAA thing, like putting that out and these things, like just do that. Leave Chip alone. You don't need to send shots. You don't need, because you're just gonna look like, obviously, to some people that don't understand grime or are trying to rewrite the rules, it seems like you're winning. But to the grime kids and the purists and people who fuck with what the genre is meant to be, you're just gonna look like you're rubbing yourself out. You called yourself the king of grime. You tried to send shots, and my man's dissing you head on, fam. Like what Chip said, Chip almost did it to himself with Bugsy. When man said, if anybody's in the Premier League and he didn't reply for time, do you get me? He almost did what Stormzy's doing, like in grime eyes. Like obviously in the whole thing, cool, but in grime eyes, Chip was rubbing out, and then he come back. Do you get what I'm saying? Like if you're in this thing called grime, and you're talking about you're one of the top guys, then you have to abide by the rules. It's like getting into a boxing ring and saying you don't want to fight. I'm the champion. I ain't got to fight you.
Listen, I'll also say something as well. When you say you're the king of grime, right, that leaves you open to anybody who's in the, let's say, the area of grime, and if especially the context of a clash, it's important. If you say you're the king of grime in the context of a clash, and other people who are skilled and who have put, let's say, more into grime than you have, certain man can be like, you know what? No. And I would respect the fact that man, you've opened up the door for man to send for you. You understand? Just on an ego clashing, sporting type of thing. You understand, right? You've opened that door up. So the verse on Ways for me, it's not really a, whether it was aimed at him or not, it's not really a some sort of cardinal sin that Chip should have never done. Do you know what I mean? You know, you kind of opened yourself up for that, claiming that king status, innit? But also, I give man poetic license, because when you're in a clash, you big up yourself. You say, you know what I mean? Like it was a bar aimed at Wiley, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So I give you that, but it was the point that it reached of no return, which was the next rhythm which dropped. And obviously the T on Wayne, I don't know, you know. And for me,
can I just say something about, just sorry to interrupt and interject. You said Wiley. I'm Wiley. Just carry on.
This guy. This guy.
Carry on. Sorry.
Also got spun in it. Oh Lord. Anyway.
Say it to your flow. Sorry, bro. Carry on.
You know, and you know that I don't know thing. Like it took me a little while to realize, you know, during the reaction that Stormzy was asking a question. Is he talking to me? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? And on Ways, it's a very good question. Are you talking to man? You get what I'm saying? At that point, I thought, wait a minute. Okay, these two are gonna actually go at it. Like it's poised for them two to go at it. But Chip, he held back. And Chip did something very, very, very smart. He not only held back, and you know, people say he used the next move for promotion for his album, which he 100% did. But at the same time, he also controlled the narrative. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the next piece we got, I do believe, was the video, the pull-up video. That was, you know, and it was kind of used as album rollout. And that's you know, that is a mad space. You know, that is a mad.
I can't lie, yeah. Some we're kind of fast forwarding a bit, like referencing something that happened recently, but reading that thread that you put on Twitter, yeah, that you said read this thread between Twin B and Ashley,
yeah,
which is Chip's cousin and manager, I believe. She said something that I was like, bro, I didn't even deep it like that. Like, she's like, if this was anyone else, and they endangered or intimidated anyone else's sister or a woman in their family,
yeah,
it would be a mad outrage right now.
bro.
I didn't even deep it like that, you know. I did not deep it like that.
Yeah, it it's Viola Davis. You know, there's like violation. You know what I'm saying? I just, yeah, I looked at that video and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? And then to hear a certain man's name called out and tell him to call me in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's, you see them ones there. People, I see at the time I was seeing people say, yeah, you just pulled up to talk. No one's gonna pull up in a Lamborghini truck just to ride that and that. Who rides in that, bro? Niggas are not pulling up with 3 other men that I do not know to my gaff to talk, fam.
That's wild.
You're not bringing nobody I don't know to my gaff.
That's wild.
That's a disrespect, bro.
Bro.
If you come to my gaff uninvited, that's a disrespect, bro.
Thank you. You know, it for me, you know, I'm assuming they had a conversation, you know, for that. Obviously, social media, you could swap numbers and whatever, you have a conversation. And maybe, and this is only connecting dots with very little info, you know, could be wildly wrong, but and this could have been boiling from way back. But at this point, you know, I do believe they had a conversation. Tempers got flared, and then that happened. And for me, you know, it was Stormzy's mistake. You know, that really opened the door for Chip to just justify whatever the fuck he wanted to do next. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you pull up at my yard, then the rules are different. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Chip has never, and I'll say this: if you listen to the bars, and I look at these two artists, if you listen to the bars, the way they speak, Stormzy, if you look at him physically, he's a big guy, bro. If you look at Chip, he's more a guy of your average build. Yeah. Now, Stormzy talks about physicality in his bars, bro. You know, and so if you were to put money on one person to knock out the other, it would be Stormzy. There's reach, there's height.
Of course. You
know what I'm saying, right?
Of course.
So it stands to reason that Chip is a person who relies on intelligence. We see that through the music he makes, through the moves he makes, especially in regards to clash. You get what I'm saying? So it just really gave him, let's say, I guess, you know, you gift wrapped him an open, you gave him basically an open gift. And on top of that, like, he fucking took it. And for me, he was well within his rights to do what the hell he wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? We have to also think in the timing, obviously. So he used it to promote his album, the timing of the drop of that video. And then there was Killer MC, which dropped first, you know, and I just remember watching this and thinking.
So they both come out the same day, Flowers and Killer MC?
Same day, fam. Like, I was like literally maybe an hour or two in between each other.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I watched that video and I was like, oh, like, Chip's fucking, he's lost it. You know what I mean? Like, he's going ham in it. And, you know, the talk online is building up. Everybody's saying, you know, he's, you know, who he's going at, you know, all of these things. And he's just, like I say, the brother is very good at controlling the narrative, you know? So it's like, I am that MC, the Killer MC kind of thing. You understand? Look at him wearing Prada, walking through fucking body bags, bro. Like, he's a cold you know.
That was cold still.
Very cold, man.
Or the symbolism as well in that. That was cold still.
Yeah, bro. And just watching all of that, and then Flowers. Now, I'm gonna get your thoughts on Flowers, bro.
I have to remind myself of Flowers, you know, like, which one was that? The rap one or the grime one?
The rap one at the petrol station.
The rap. From then I thought it was over. I won't lie to you.
It was.
Yeah, I thought it was over from then still. He just don't stop though. He just don't stop, fam. My man's got 600k on the audio, bro. Hey, he just don't stop, like, leave Chip alone, like. I think I've been saying this a time. Leave him alone, bro. Like, leave him alone. Let him make his. If you feel like you're bigger than him, just let him fizzle out and that. You get me, like.
Yeah,
just leave him alone. Don't throw the subliminals. Just leave it alone, blood. Ignore him properly if you're going to ignore him,
bro. This is the thing, you know. I think a lot. I will always remember this most standout line, you know, and also I believe it just really brought to the fore like how the four brought to the forefront how smart Chip is, where he started using, let's say, moments of contradictory actions within Stormzy's, let's say, brand. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it really makes you think, okay, when you see contradictory actions from people, you think, do you know who you are? Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And poking holes in somebody's armor like that, or showing chinks in somebody's armor like that, is a big fucking thing, you know. It's like you say A, but you're doing B. You know what I'm saying?
It's a bit like Pusha T and fucking
Drake,
and
yeah.
Drake, innit?
Hmm.
I'm just noticing that now still.
Definitely. You know, and it's a very smart strategy to use in it. And just looking, you know, the whole, and he just kept on touching on things that just were like, the hardest line in the whole thing for me was something about my jammer. Was it Ways G? You know what I'm saying? When he spoke about man's girl. I thought something with my jammer hurt your feelings, or something. Was it Ways G? There's some line in there. If you watch it again in Flowers, and I was just left like, oh my God. Like, bro, Stormzy's a guy who's lived his eye in the public, you know, as Chip has as well. These guys are celebrities, let's be 100% real. And they've lived their eyes in the they live their lives in the eye of the public. And you know, it's quite a thing where, you know, you're part of a celebrity couple as well, you know, and it's on record, you know, you fucking up and trying to get back with her, you know, that, bruv, and saying, oh, you want to marry her, you want to that shit has got to fucking hurt, bro. Do you understand? And it's like, I get it where Chip's at, because man came to your yard, G. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you took it somewhere else, but that line will forever have me in shock, you know, like that, you know. And also, you see, Chip, it's that you may be on some bad boy thing, but I don't give a fuck in it. You know, when you're sending the message clearly, you may be on some bad boy thing, but just know that I do not give a fuck. You get it? Like, you can't bad me up like that. You will put respect on my name, you know, like that. And so that there, just watching that whole tune, and out of the two disses, obviously we know which one, let's say, did the most damage, which was Flowers. You get what I'm saying? And then it was the Watch Dogs Rainfall thing, you know, which people thought could have been a diss to Chip. You got what I'm saying? But I thought it was a diss to Chip. I may be wrong. I don't think it was. I thought it was a diss to Chip. But I think at that point, everybody was just waiting and watching to see what Stormzy was going to reply with. Do you know what I mean? So they would take and run with anything that was said. Do you know what I mean? Next thing was Gets and Skengman. Now you talk on this, bro.
That was a banger still.
You know.
That was a fucking banger. But then I had the pleasure of reacting to both of them back to back, like in one video. So I heard Skeng and I was blown away, and then I heard Chips. Leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone, man. No one's you didn't even get to enjoy the moment. You get to it's like yeah. You hit man with a clean punch.
I noticed that something had changed at that point though, because Stormzy wasn't just standing on his own saying what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like,
do you know what's interesting? Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, bro.
That he didn't go at Gets, but he went at Dave.
No, he said something that is aimed. He said basically it's something about picking sides. Yeah. Pick a side. There was messages in that tune for Gets, in it. and it was just like it got to the point. He said it's something like pick a side, something. There's if you listen to the tune, there are bars that apply to Gets. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I think obviously there's a level of respect that Chip has for Gets. Gets' pen is no fucking joke. You know, like can he sky up as quick as Chip? I wouldn't put it past him. You know, I personally wouldn't put it past Gets. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
That would be a very good war still.
That would be an amazing war, bro. But
we saw P Money and Gets. That was an amazing war. So
yeah, and
this definitely.
I can understand why people would think, why would Gets be on a rhythm with Stormzy, or why would Gets, you know, in the middle of this, be promoting an album, and then you put a tune out that you know is gonna get, it's gonna get bare attention. It's the smart thing to do, to be fair. Promoting an album, who's then calling, let's say, a colleague. You get what I'm saying? I don't know whether I don't think these brothers are friends like that. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't seem like any of them were friends with Chip, but they would leave him out to dry whenever this happens, son.
You know, and it just, for me, looking at it, I was like, okay, does it, you know, I always look behind the scenes in the music industry, you know, it's like, it looks who's standing where, who's standing next to who. And I can listen, and it's not for me, it's not a funny move from Gets, because you have to think back to Stormzy's album, Gang Signs and Prayer. Where's Carlos? Listen, bro, like, you open Gets up to a entire new market, bro. Do you get it? Like, so I can understand like why Gets would have him on a rhythm on his album. You get what I'm saying? You know? And that's something that, and that's something for me that kind of, it made sense, the tune, but I was always like, why the timing of this though? In the middle of a clash. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right? And then it was the moment where we saw Stormzy do what we'd seen him do again before on the Tion Wayne tune, the I Don't Know thing. Where he goes back at Chip. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you've been saying, leave man alone, innit? And Chip dropped, what was it, 10 Commandments, right?
Straight after Scam. Yeah.
Straight after Scam, man. And it was just like, raw, what's like, it's anytime Chip drops, it just shuts down. It just shuts down fucking everything. Any talk, it doesn't, it's just, bruv, it's almost like, you know, in the industry, there's a bit of an earthquake. You get what I'm saying? When Chip drops like in that Shelly space, you know what I'm saying? And all the things he says, he remains like so smart and so slick with what he delivers. Like, there's not, like, at this point, there's not a round that Chip has lost to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then
I see someone say on Twitter, but by the way, like Chip's trying to do what Drake did and get to Meet Mill and get a diss like in a hit, so he has to hear it over and over again.
Stormzy,
yeah.
And then there was the Dave clash with him. Now this one felt a little, I don't know, bro. I don't. How do you feel about this one? Because this one felt a little
clash.
Yeah,
I like the song.
Song's a banger.
I like the line where he says Georgia won, and then Stormzy looks at the camera. But then I thought, why? Why would you? Because I've heard stories that you heard these things, people talk about this, where a man would diss someone on a feature and the guy would say, "Nah, can you not do that, please, on my song?" Da, da, da.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, why did that happen? But so when he just in his reply this Dave, I was like, okay, kind of could have stopped that from happening. You didn't. Cool.
Yeah.
Even doing a song called Clash, crazy. But yeah, then you look at what Chips put out after that. You're like, oh,
yeah. Like the titling on the song, you know, as you said, crazy. Like because you know it's crazy because you know what everybody wants, isn't it? That's what the market. Sorry, guys.
30 minutes.
Come on.
Hey, we talk a lot, goddamn.
Yeah, that's what the market or the audience wants to see, that clash, you know. And should you stop responding to man, then fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? And then fair enough, we know that, you know, it's not that for you. And you know what? I can respect it because legacy wise, Stormzy is a fucking juggernaut. Look what he's done for stuff. The Brit stage moment, the what is it? Glastonbury. What he's done for Black Britons in regards to education, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? There are some moves that this brother has made that it's just legendary shit. You know what I'm saying? And those achievements are legacy movements, innit? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this clash, you know, God willing, is a small moment in this brother's career. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's able to go on and do bigger and better things. But I feel like it's almost like you're re-picking a wound. You know, you're injuring yourself. Do you get it? Because it's like King of Grime. What I said to you, like what I noticed is Chip opening up contradictory behavior in people. Chip has always been Chip, right? You call a tune clash. We know that Chip is proven in a clash. You know that we want to see a clash as the audience. You know what I'm saying? And also you're next to an artist who isn't known for clashing. And at this point, I'm sitting down and I personally think, is this the new album rollout? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you've got an album coming and you know Stormzy, yo, can I get a verse? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what happens. Do you get what I'm saying? Right? Stormzy is definitely smart in keeping us guessing as to what he's going to do next. Because I think pattern of behavior, we kind of know what Chip is going to do if he gets mentioned. Do you get what I'm saying? Stormzy right now has the one up because he has that element of surprise. You get what I'm saying? We don't know whether he'll drop a diss tune tomorrow. Do you get what I'm saying? But Chip himself, we know Chip's in war mode. He's ready. You get what I'm saying? And it's just a thing where at this point, I think either like shit or get off the toilet. You know, like that. Like either go for it or just leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? You know, because like I said, with contradictory behavior, you say you're the king of grime, but do you understand what I mean? Do you get it? Chip also, you know, he skied off a big rocket at Dave. I can't lie. That line spun me up my boots, bro. I'm only human, people. Listen, like, I wasn't expecting it. And this is what I mean. Like, he's opening up contradiction in the people he's opposite. Also, when you see somebody, and I don't know how you feel about this, but when you see somebody hang with their friends, but then diss another brother, like, it kind of leaves that brother who you're dissing looking a bit like, I guess not victim, but like he's being picked on. Do you get what I'm saying? You know? And you know, when you kind of talk about narrative and story arc, you know, how the crowd see you, you know, in every sort of clash, every beef, there is a story. It happened because of this. Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? You get what I'm saying? At this point, you kind of, in the Wiley versus Stormzy thing, it had the feeling of more Wiley was the bad guy because he went very, I think, personal. And I think the audience really didn't understand the industry stuff that Wiley was talking about because they're not in the industry. And the audience have the loudest voice. Do you know what I'm saying? So in this case, you kind of there's pulling up at somebody's yard and then you won't leave this brother alone. Do you understand? And so it's like,
oh, the text message as well. Fucking no,
bro. I don't know what's gone on. Maybe there's like, it sounds like stuff we don't know. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
There's a lot of stuff we don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
And for me, like, that Dave tune was, first of all, it was a fucking banger. And I think the fact that it was a banger, right? Because I heard a lot of people saying, it's different, it's not, it's this, it's not, blah, 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 and XYZ. And I listened to the tune.
It's not what?
People were saying it's a bit different and it's a bit, I know a couple men in the comments, and I was just like, I listened to the thing. After listening to it, I had to really deep. Stormzy was in his motherfucking bag, rude boy. Bro, he bodied that. Like, and I think that message also kind of got, because Chip knows music, innit? I think that message also got through loud and clear to Chip, and he has to think of, because when you think of that post about him talking about the industry and people in the industry, who's making these songs, he's attention, because that's a fucking body. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, it's that moment of trying to Drake Meek Mill the thing, put it on a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a situation where you're using that, just leave me alone kind of thing. Because even in the one thing I like about what Chip said in Clash is that it's just one of them things. If you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. It's one of them bars I think earlier on. It just rounds up to that. Do you get what I'm saying? And so my thing is like, one, I don't, Stormzy keeps mentioning this thing, so obviously it's something that bothers him, right? This Chip and Stormzy situation. So obviously there's something that bothers him, and he keeps on, every shot he takes, he keeps on losing. He keeps on losing, and I think it is something where either you leave the brother alone or engage in, let's say, the standard, the practices of what grime artists do. Do you know what I mean? Because I would rather that. Yeah, you and me both know we would rather that than anything else. Do you know what I mean? Do you get it? Trust me. So it's been a absolutely wild, like, it's been a wild time, man. You get what I'm saying? And then, what did you think about Chip's post on the industry?
Industry's weird, man.
Bro,
it's a very, very weird industry. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some collusion or whatever. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Someone, like, obviously Twin B saying, like, he didn't know what Stormzy's gonna do, and all of these things. He might be right in that.
Yeah.
But then Chip's engineer was like, right, as soon as you found out about it, you could have gave Ashley a call to apologize. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You didn't do that. You just let the songs come out and you let everything, you get me? Like, you didn't, there was no reach out. Nobody said sorry to her.
Yeah.
Again, you don't have to say sorry to Chip. But there's a girl that had to deal with 4 niggas coming to her where she's at, and
yeah,
you get me. So that was a good point. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Still, it's mad to see again people that he started his journey with now on the other side of niggas trying to get at him. So I get it. Still, I get it. Chip's a very smart man, though. So, like you said, he knows how to control the narrative.
Bro, very smart, brother. He knows this shit. And just to sort of, like, I guess, add to your point, like, when you talk about, like, like there being so much friction, and you got a female who's also your family as well. Do you know what I mean? In the building, like, having to, go through that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, man. Inadvertently do things. It's weird. I think that moment Stormzy became somebody he really didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying?
To the public, yeah.
To the public, at the very least. But
it's a bit like Anthony Joshua, isn't it?
How do you mean?
Because to the public, he's the politically correct guy. And then you saw a bit of it come out with the build up to the Big Baby Miller fight. When he went over to America, and then people were like, his family was trying, you come up here then, like, and they get me. I'm your mom's landlord. These type of things, like that's a bit to the right. We've never seen this before. Do you get what I'm saying? And even now, the way he's calling out Tyson Fury and certain other people is a bit more like, I think he even said it, Big Femi's back or something. Like, you get me? Like, it's something we've seen politically correct from Stormzy for a while, apart from the Wiley thing. But that was just, we all saw it as sport. Do you get what I'm saying? This is decided like, rah, okay.
Walk on.
And then obviously Chip spinning it like, this guy rapping my gospel, but he's coming to yards and
they are facts.
They get me.
They are facts, you know. And that's like I think sometimes though, to be able to play both roles, it's entertaining. I can respect man who can do that, especially like guys like AJ, like because AJ is, sorry to go off on a tangent, but AJ seems to be that, you know, good guy, shining knight, and play that role, innit? But sometimes it's like you can't be nice with all these boxes, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like Big Baby Miller, you know, I respect that energy from him, because at the end of the day, Big Baby Miller, you saw what happened between the two of them, innit? Do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? On that stage, man, shoved them across. It's like, no, what are you doing? Don't don't take man for a dickhead, fam. You know what I mean? Every let's be real, everybody has their limit in it. And I respect Stormzy because, you know, you have your limit in it, but you gotta understand that, like, things that you do, it's not, bro, this is music, it's not that, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's genuine, like real talk, bro. It's not that. Do you get what I'm saying? And so can you imagine had something happened, you know, or one of the man them he was with was on a craziness, you understand? Then what are the headlines reading for me? And I'm gonna put this personally on me as a black man reading about other, these papers will crucify him. You get it? You know what I'm saying? So just
you got offered that one there still.
Yo, like just
got offered that one there still.
Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why, that's another thing. Like, I don't want to see, I don't want to hear, I don't want to, like, you know, just get on the mic and do the thing, man, and let it go. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Issues. But yeah, to be fair, it's been a long, drawn out thing between these two, you know. And I hope that they're able to either clash, because at this point I'm asking questions, bro. If these man got on and said, you know what, we're gonna be at one end of a hall and these brothers are gonna be at the other end of a hall, completely separated, you know, like that, and we will do a clash or something and put it on pay-per-view, blood, they're getting my money, fam. They're getting my money. See, in my bank,
paying for it as well.
Gee,
paying for it as well, bro.
Listen, you know, and I think that is something that I would rather see these brothers go down, you know, because also industry stuff, you know, you kind of, I don't know, I really don't know how I feel about that, because essentially that is business, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's business, you know. A business is going to do whatever it can to maximize its profits. And we know the music industry, we're not surprised. We know the reputation the music industry around the world has, bro. Like snakes and fakes, we know that. Do you get what I'm saying? So how can I be surprised when what is supposed to happen in the music industry happens? Do you get what I'm saying? How can you be surprised? I'll let you summarize this thing.
Hey, wait. The summary is leave that nigga Chip alone. That's what leave that nigga alone. Hey, you don't need to be troubling that nigga. Don't look at that nigga. Don't step on his shoes. Do not go near nobody he knows. Just leave that nigga alone. Win on your side. Leave that nigga alone. Goddamn.